Hi there. This video is going to be about starting a new group, a new recovery group in your area. NASCA understands that if you try to go to our recovery groups and services tool, which I discussed in a previous video, you might be disappointed to find that there aren't enough recovery groups in your area. In fact, in some cases, there aren't any. So we suggest if that's the case, why not start your own? And the idea that you do that really is pretty easy. In fact, NASCA gives you 4 different formats that you can consider, and they're all different kinds of formats. I'm going to explain them on this video. But any of these 4 formats would certainly be fine, and other things would be fine too. There are many formats, but the basic idea is that if you find that you don't have a local group, start one, and no doubt there are other survivors kind of hidden in your neighborhood or your community that also would like to come forward and join other people in recovery. So that's the idea. Now, if you do make up a group, we want you to send us the information about it, because then it will appear on our recovery groups and services tool. If you write to Carolyn in London, England, she'll add your group to that tool under the correct state or province or country, and she'll send it to me and it'll get posted. We do this all the time. We do it daily, and it's very quick how the lists get updated. More about that in a second, but first let me explain where you go to find the start a new recovery group tool page. It's under the pull-down menu, the first pull-down menu, and it is the second link on that pull-down menu. It says Start a Recovery Group. And when you click on that, you'll go to a page that suggests that we have at least 4 different kinds that we can certainly recommend to you of groups, 2 of which are pretty organized groups. They're from the Adult Survivors of Child Abuse at ASCA Support, and the other is the Lamplighters Movement. Now, both of these 2 organizations are fairly well organized. They have 100 or so meetings each all over the country, and they are very different. The Adult Survivors of Child Abuse is found at ASCA Support, ASCAsupport.org, and you'll find there that they have a wonderful document called Survivor to Thriver, which I do recommend, even if you don't do anything else, you download from their website. And you'll see that they explain they have a 21-step program, kind of three pieces to their program and 7 steps in each piece. You become a facilitator for the ASCA support groups by doing a little bit of training, which in my case I did on 2 Saturdays, two conference call type trainings with other people, and then I was allowed to start an ASCA group. So that's one way. Now, the ASCA organization came out of the Morris Center in San Francisco, and it's pretty well known, but they could certainly, and they would love to increase the number of meetings that are using their system. The second system I mentioned is the Lamplighters Movement. The Lamplighters Movement was started by Margie McKinnon. She is from the Southwest, and you go to the Lamplighters Movement by going to thelamplighters.org. The Lamplighters.org is where you'll find information about the 100 or more meetings that they have in their organization from around the country. And you'll find out that what they do is they follow a program that has to do with the word repair, R-E-P-A-I-R. Each of those letters stands for something, and it's based on a book that Margie wrote years ago, Repair Your Life. And now she has a series of these books. But the first Repair book is the backbone for the Lamplighters meetings and the process that they use. Both of these are, as they say, organized groups. So you do have to get a little bit of training from either the Adult Survivors of Child Abuse at ASCA Support or the Lamplighters Movement from the lamplighters.org. But in either case, it's not extravagant, the amount that you have to do. The third and fourth are much more loose. The reason that they are is because one is a 12-step based program. It's actually something that I have set up here. And if you're interested, if you have a 12-step background, certainly you might be. It's called ASCAA 12-step. The main homepage for that organization is ASCA 12-step support. No, excuse me, ASCA12step.org. ASCA, the number 12, STEP.org. And basically it presents the concept that I used when I was recovering 35 years ago of using a 12-step process, the Design for Living that's in the 12-step process, but changing it over just as Narcotics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Al-Anon, and all these other groups that came along after the 12-step program was established borrowed the same exact program, and they use it for their own style of recovery. In our case, we're looking to recover from the trauma that we experienced as a result of our child abuse. And that's how the 12-step program there is written. All you have to do to start that program, and we have an expression in the 12-step room. See, all you need is two of us, a resentment, and a coffee pot to meet. And you can start a meeting. By the way, on the aska12step.org page, you'll see there's a number of different kinds of formats of meetings that are presented there, a lot of literature that's there and so forth. So if you have an interest in a 12-step style of recovery, I definitely would say check that out. And then finally, we have a recovery group that's very loose. It's called Empower Survivors, and it was established by NAASCA member Elizabeth Sullivan in Minnesota. And she started this group several years ago. It's at empowersurvivors.net, and they basically have a group of people that meet periodically. Originally it was weekly. I think it still is at least weekly. Maybe there's more than one meeting. But the point is that on the empowersurvivors.net website, or if you write to Elizabeth, she'll be delighted to tell you that it really is not very involved to how to put together a meeting itself. Now, she has an organization behind that meeting, and I'm not suggesting anybody do that. But the meeting format can be as simple as two people who get together, becoming 3 people, becoming 5 people, becoming 10 people, who meet on a regular basis. And eventually, we want you to tell us about it. And that's the other thing I want to mention before we go tonight, is that we as we offer these 4 ideas, and there can be other formats you might come up with, if you do establish a meeting, please let us know once your meeting is established, and we'll add it to our recovery groups and services tool. It's as simple as writing to Carolyn O'Hara in London, England, which you'll find on that page, the second link under the pull-down menu of NAASCA programs, the first program menu, the second link, start a recovery group. It does say to please write to her. It gives her address and so forth. She'll add you to the right list, forward it to me. I'll make it into a PDF that can go online and post it for you. And this happens very quickly. So that's tonight's topic. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember that we're here for you in any way we can, but one of the ways we have to be here for each other is to offer the opportunity to meet. And recovery meetings are an excellent way to do this. There's plenty of space for more recovery meetings, even if you have some in your area, but you'll find sometimes if you go to our tool that lists the groups, that there are no groups in many, many neighborhoods. And certainly you're not the only survivor of child abuse who could use a recovery group to go to on a weekly basis. Okay, this is Bill Murray, the founder and CEO of NAASCA, signing off for tonight and saying thanks for being with me tonight. May God bless you and the children of the world, and God bless adult survivors of child abuse.